Hi, everybody. It's Bruce Wayne McClellan. I'm getting ready to do a talk for MC Corporate College Connections, which will be starting in just about 5 minutes from now. The talk is about being champions of the new normal. It's my belief that we all can emerge from this quarantine better than before. It will be different, but much better if we consider a couple of ideas. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be getting started with that talk in about 4 minutes from now. Hi, Sandy. Welcome. In a moment, the MCC Corporate College Connections will be sharing this live video to their corporate page, and I'll begin my talk. As soon as I hear from them, we'll get started. So if you want to grab some popcorn, a nice drink, maybe a cup of tea, or something a little bit more vigorous, you can get comfortable and get ready for our talk. We'll be getting started just momentarily. Again, this is part of MCC Corporate College Connection, their virtual offering during this time of quarantine. And it's a whole series of different presentations by different speakers. And your speaker today is yours truly. So I look forward to that in just a minute. So we'll just hang in there as we're waiting for that hour hand to move around to the 12 position. Okay, looks like we're all set to go. Hi, everybody. Bruce Wayne McClellan here. Welcome to MCC Corporate College Connections. The Corporate College offers these sessions, fulfilling its charge to inspire diverse students, transforming their lives and communities, as well as to drive regional economic development. Really important during these times. These sessions connect us while striving to promote a mission of learning which continues today in virtual settings. We look forward to the resumption of face-to-face engagement, but until then, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, and learn with us live. I am grateful for you showing up today. I know you have a lot of choices about how to spend your time. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. Just so you know, this program is simulcast on Facebook and YouTube, and eventually it will be linked over to LinkedIn as well. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Helen Keller. Champions of the new normal. 3 competencies of personal leadership. Let's ask ourselves, why not aspire to emerge from this unique circumstance stronger, more passionate, better than ever before? Instead of returning defeated and depressed, why not become a champion of the new normal? Dictionary.com defines champion as someone who defends people or a cause. Are you called to be a champion? If so, who are the people that need defending? Your family, your friends, your clients, your employees, your community? And what is your cause? To put bread on the table? To help your business survive, maybe even thrive coming out of the quarantine? Or is it something much more meaningful, like helping to make the world a little better? This mini session will challenge you. It will challenge you basic assumptions about who you are as a leader and who you may become. I believe that we're all potentially the leader of at least one person, ourselves. This is the essence of personal leadership, leading ourselves, mastering potential, mastering our full potential, mastering personal leadership. We become champions, heroic leaders of our world. We can all have an impact based on what we decide to do with what we have and what we are called to do. Hi, my name is Bruce Wayne McClellan. I'm the founder of The Mindful Leader. We work with business leaders who want to leave a legacy that makes the world a little better, but instead they lie awake at night unable to sleep because they're worrying about the future. They worry about uncertainty. You deserve a chance to leave a legacy that makes the world a little better and get a good night's sleep. I know what it's like to lie awake at night worrying about uncertainty, but since I've developed the 3 giant steps for heroic leadership, know, love, and lead, everything has drastically changed for myself and the people that choose to work with me. When we asked for feedback on the experience of working with me, one client said, "Bruce knows how to get you to the top in the smartest, safest way possible." Another just exclaimed, "I can just say wow." And one more said, "I believe the single most influential and useful person in my entire business career is Bruce." The Mindful Leader is a leadership coaching firm established in Rochester, New York in 2004. We are celebrating our 16th anniversary this year. Our burning aspiration is to make a better world for our great-grandchildren by liberating the heroic power of leadership in each of us. We utilize an integration of business principles, science-based research, and insights gleaned from wisdom traditions to help people build memorable lives and enduring businesses. In this mini section, we will identify and explore key behaviors that reflect heroic leadership as well as the foundational competencies that foster those key behaviors. The 3 competencies of personal leadership will help you to answer an important question: what is mine to do? A leader who answers these questions can ultimately become a champion of the new normal. Please note, the main source for creating this mini session is the February 2016 article written by author Charles Duhigg, "What Google Learned from its quest to build the perfect team." The Elephant Whisperer. Surprisingly, the old maxim, "bigger is better," is sometimes true. For me, the behavior of our biggest living land animal, the elephant, provides evidence. In the context of the champion of the new normal, I am not referring to the size of their massive, powerful bodies, but rather the size of their hearts. What you may not know is that these overland behemoths are known to grieve for their dead, often wailing and rumbling, only to fall silent and gently touch the departed family member, and then cover them with leaves and dirt. But that's not all. These deeply emotional beings also grieve for other species, such as one woman who is accidentally and tragically trampled by an elephant cow. The cow returned to grieve the lost woman and cover her remains with grass. There are many examples of this unusual and unanticipated phenomenon. In March of 2012, George Stroumboulopoulos of the CBC reported that when Lawrence Anthony, a conservationist and author known as the Elephant Whisperer, passed away, a group of wild elephants that he had rescued showed up at his home in South Africa to stand vigil for 2 days and 2 nights. They grieved and honored him. The elephants mourn even when the deceased is a member of another species. Impressively, their compassion is expansive enough to reach across the vast gulf between the tree branches of evolution of all species. As you will see, compassion is an important competency for heroic leaders, a competency that lifts them into the lofty places where only champions reside. It is one of the critical personal leadership competencies that supports key behaviors fostering extraordinary teams. I encourage you to start thinking of these ideal teams as we-centric rather than me-centric teams. Representing the we-centric teams represent a promising alternative to me-centric teams, an outdated paradigm for teaming. These gentle giants are modeling a practice that is essential for creating what Google refers to as the perfect team. Google and the perfect team. Google is obsessed with discovering the missing and magical sauce for creating great teams. Since the beginning, they have committed to learning how to create the best teams, how to engineer what they call perfect teams in a consistent and repeatable fashion. Perhaps we can learn something from their journey into the research and from the genius of our wild gray friends. Top executives at Google, and elsewhere for that matter, have long possessed a set of beliefs that are based on assumptions that have never been tested. These assumptions and beliefs support the me-centric paradigm and belong on a shelf beside other antiquated and entirely egocentric beliefs, such as the Earth is the center of the universe. In short, these me-centric team beliefs do not work to create the perfect team. Examples of these outdated beliefs include building the best teams means combining the best people. Putting introverts together separate from extroverts is ideal. And teams that play hard work hard. And there are many others. As you will see, Google's research upends these long-held limiting beliefs. Project Aristotle. Common. In 2012, Google launched an initiative called Project Aristotle to study hundreds of Google's teams seeking solid data on the science of building the perfect team. They analyzed 50 years of academic data and polled 180 internal teams looking for patterns in common areas of interests, such as motivational types, hobbies, and levels of education, preferences such as introversion or extroversion, as well as in gender-limited teams. For each of these common areas, data was gathered and analyzed, seeking the elements for creating the perfect team. The historic beliefs and assumptions were put to the test and challenged in this research. The conclusion from these assessments of the common areas was unmistakable. No discernible pattern emerged. In other words, there was no evidence to support the antiquated, untested beliefs and assumptions. The old me paradigm does not achieve the intended result, period. If these me-centric beliefs and assumptions are incorrect, then the question remains, how do we create the perfect team? The next approach was researching group norms, the unwritten rules that govern how we function when we come together, a reflection of group's culture. Norms are the key. Psychological and sociological research revealed clearly that the norms are the key. As a result, various cultural behaviors were explored. Some group norms reflected a preference for consensus building, while others preferred debate. Some preferred groupthink, while others preferred vigorous arguments. Each of these cultural preferences proved to hold no relevance for creating great teams. Although it was determined that norms were the key, it remained unclear which cultural behaviors were relevant to building the best teams. So the precise group norms most important for building a perfect team remained elusive. Collective intelligence. In 2008, Carnegie Mellon, MIT, and Union College did studies focusing on collective intelligence, the overall combined intelligence arising from the formation of groups. Collective intelligence reflects the effective intelligence of the whole rather than the average intelligence of individual members. In other words, collective intelligence is the combined synergistic aptitude of the whole. This combined acumen may be greater or less than the sum of its parts. The studies revealed that promoting high collective intelligence is directly related to how well the team members played together. Teams where members treated each other well significantly outperformed teams who treated each other poorly. In other words, the study suggests that when team members were kinder and gentler towards one another, their collective intelligence was significantly higher. Collective intelligence was higher for we-centric teams than for me-centric teams, even when the average IQ for individual team members from dysfunctional teams were higher. Collective intelligence was highest for teams that mastered what I refer to as the three behaviors. The three behaviors of perfect teams. What I have gleaned from the research is that the secret sauce of perfect teams includes at least three behaviors and perhaps more. These include respect, speak share, and psychological safety. Respect includes not only acceptance of differences, but a recognition that diversity optimizes our opportunity for success in problem solving, innovation, and other areas. Our behavioral ritual that reflects respect is speak share, which is demonstrated by equality in conversation turn taking. It reflects respect by valuing individual voices and ideas, thus creating fertile ground for sharing unanticipated, innovative ideas. The most important of the three behaviors is psychological safety, which in many ways encompasses all three beliefs. Psychological safety. Psychological safety was defined in a study published in 1999 by Harvard Business School professor Amy Edmondson as shared belief by members of a team that the team is safe for interpersonal risk-taking. It is a sense of confidence that the team will not embarrass, reject, or punish someone for speaking up. It is a sense of confidence that the team will not embarrass, reject, or punish someone for speaking up. It describes a team climate characterized by interpersonal and mutual respect in which people are comfortable being themselves. In other words, psychological safety is we-centric. The perfect teams intentionally create a safe space for its members to take risks that lead to stunning results. Project Aristotle's findings indicate that psychological safety, more than anything else, is the critical element contributing to the high levels of collective intelligence, which result in high-performing teams, perfect teams. This desirable team member behavior, psychological safety, creates a synergistic collective intelligence significantly higher than the sum of its members' individual IQs. So, what internal skills are required to masterfully support this highly desirable behavior? In other words, what are the personal leadership competencies that support psychological safety? The three competencies of personal leadership. The three competencies of personal leadership are intended to support the behavior of psychological safety. They are the prerequisite internal states which support the desired external action of providing and engaging in psychological safety. They include emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and compassion. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or IE, is a collection of competencies. These include awareness management of emotions, These include awareness and management of the emotions of ourselves and the emotions of others. It is the ability to notice our own and others' emotional states and respond to those emotions in a constructive way that optimizes a positive and desirable outcome for everyone. Without high emotional intelligence, I cannot navigate the potentially treacherous and volatile territory of psychological safety. Without IE, I have no sense of what is safe for me and what is safe for others. Without emotional intelligence, I am literally flying blind. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is paying attention as if our life depended on it. In the case of psychological safety, it does depend on it. Mindfulness is a necessary competency for emotional intelligence as we can't manage what we don't notice. Mindfulness is a relevant practice because it supports awareness of emotions and nonverbal cues such as facial expressions, body language, and vocal intonation. Mindfulness not only supports awareness of emotional tone of the whole group. Without mindfulness, I can only intermittently demonstrate emotional intelligence at best. It's analogous to falling asleep at the wheel on the serpentine highway of psychological safety. We are bound to collide with something or someone. The result is damage to the safe container. Compassion. Empathy and compassion are closely related competencies. Dictionary.com defines empathy as the psychological identification with or vicarious experiencing of feelings, thoughts, or attitudes of another, and compassion as a feeling of deep sympathy and sorrow for another who is stricken by misfortune, accompanied by a strong desire to alleviate suffering. Compassion also implies the wish for happiness, belonging, and success for others. The significant difference between the two is revealed when we understand that empathy requires a common experience. For example, a man cannot pretend to truly empathize with a woman during childbirth. Compassion, on the other hand, holds no such limits. Cultivating compassion is an important foundation for fostering psychological safety, our desirable behavior. Without compassion, I lack a reference point and personal motivation for providing a safe environment for others. Without compassion, we lack the formidable moral compass required to provide psychological safety, especially for those who remain significantly different from ourselves. Words. Our elephant friends model compassion even for those who are significantly different from us. These so-called dumb animals demonstrate a great deal of emotional intelligence and mindfulness. They could easily stand as a symbol and a reminder for the champion. The three competencies of personal leadership, emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and compassion, provide a solid foundation upon which to build an organization or a community practice of psychological safety. The highly significant practice of psychological safety is facilitated by a we-centric as opposed to a me-centric group culture. Teams that are not we-centric are merely groups of people who do not resemble a team at all. The best teams exchange me-centric for we-centric culture. I challenge you to pursue the we-centric teams and be the heroic leader you always meant to become. Fight mediocrity. Become a champion. Thank you. In closing, thank you for joining the MCC Corporate College Connection series via Facebook Live. Weekly sessions will be posted on the Economic and Workforce Development Center and Corporate College Facebook page. For a broader list of course offerings, visit workforceforward.com/professional professional-development. We continue to not just train, but to transform in this unique time. I hope you have found this mini session to be useful. I would like to personally invite you to explore the Mindful Leaders YouTube channel, look for the logo, share your feedback on today's talk in the comments section, and please subscribe to the Mindful Leaders YouTube channel. Thank you. This has been Bruce Wayne McClellan of the Mindful Leader. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you next time.